Blog Talk Radio.
You are listening to the ENlightenment Evolution Network. Welcome to Earth Sky People Radio. Living in harmony with Mother Earth and awakening to an intergalactic society. With your host, Victoria Vives, founder of Reiki Wellbeing and co-founder of the Earth Sky People Movement. Any opinions expressed on Earth Sky People Radio do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Enlightenment Evolution Network. Any opinions expressed by Earth Sky People Radio's guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Earth Sky People Radio. Hello, this is Earth Sky People Radio with your host, your friend, and your soul family, Victoria Vives. You can find me at victoriavives.com. Today is Saturday, November 29th, 2014. We are together in Earth Sky People Radio. Earth representing our connection with Mother Earth and nature, and Sky representing spirituality and life beyond the earth, extraterrestrial life, extra-dimensional life, Starseeds. I am thrilled for this moment, for joining with you today to complete this important message and training, so that I can assist you in falling in love with your life on Earth, if you haven't already. In fact, how not to? The challenge is not to fall in love with your life on Earth, but to put up with the ocean of asphalt and illusions that separate you from Earth. My mission is to help in vanishing that veil of illusion so that you can fully reconnect with the truth of what living on Earth means. You may be a starseed on Earth, aiding in this time of revelation. If so, this training will come in handy so that you have the tools, wisdom, and knowledge to assist others in the process. Otherwise, you can just use these tools for your own happiness. Once the revelation takes place, the perceived separation between worlds and dimensions, between you and the other civilizations in this universe, will gradually dissipate. This will be the awakening into our intergalactic society. What a thrilling adventure! You will find the first two parts of this message in the archives at victoriavives.com/radio. Today, we will complete this transference of frequencies. Beloved starseeds and earthlings, whether you consider yourself one kind or the other, we are all one and the same, different facets of the one. It is of extreme importance to count on you for this mission. Eons of time have passed waiting for this moment. You are in your time of power now. You will join forces with me and many, many others Together we will broaden the bridge of possibilities to expand and rise together until Mother Earth's ascension is a tangible reality. The reintegration of all parts and shards of the whole is essential. Nothing should be left out, and nothing will go to waste, so that the puzzle of reality can perfectly fit together with extreme precision. Beloved, I feel great love and appreciation for your contribution, and I thank you for your courage, building the new where the old has devastated. Thank you. I know you may have questions even after this training, so I will aid and assist in increasing the connection between you and your heart, where all answers reside. The connective algorithm will be 347-308-8788, and the key 1. Translating into Earthling terms, just call 347-308-8788 and press 1 to ask your questions. Those who dial first to ask shall first receive, so I encourage you to join this queue right now. Let's continue the training now. Directive 1.7 Psychology Proving Strategy Number 3. All that has ever existed still exists, and that includes your inner child. When we grow up, we may think the child within us has no longer a place in our lives. Incorrect. The child within will never grow up, and we will carry this sweet child with us everywhere we go. Trying to ignore this child's unhealed wounds may result in uncontrollable tantrums taking over us when less expected. So I strongly recommend to save your time, to save your happiness, to save your energy now, and learn about your inner structure and how to make it work. Let's get to it. There are 3 essential aspects within yourself: the inner child, the adult, and the inner parent. The adult is not as important right now, since it acts more like a computer, receiving input from both your inner parent and your inner child. Now, your inner parent and inner child is where the healing takes place. Both these aspects have shadow and light. The shadow can be gradually explored by shining light on it, by being conscious, aware, so that the shadow can be processed and reintegrated with the rest in harmony. Your inner parent is directly inherited from, guess who? Your parents, with their shadows and their light. So based on that is how you treat yourself, your inner child, and your children when you become a parent. This is how you pass your seed, your gifts, your shadows, and perpetuate your lineage for good and for bad. Let's make it for good. The healing occurs when we become our perfect and loving inner parent so that we can nurture our own inner child. This automatically transforms how we treat others and, of course, how we treat our next generations, our children. This is our heritage in which we can pass on the gifts without the breeze. Healing our lineages heals the world. If all the current adults heal their lineages, our next generation will be one of light. So in fact, we do not need to do great things, great works of service to the world, but we really just need to take care of our own stuff. When unaware of this heritage, it often happens that interactions between so-called adults may actually be coming from triggered inner children wounds, and as such may be impossible to reason or dialogue from that perspective. How can a world of triggered wounded children work? We don't need to make much effort to imagine this. Just look at the news. The more a person masks their vulnerability and acts tough, the more wounded their inner child may be, to the point of complete negation. This is a delicate issue, and I recommend for you to find somebody you truly trust to work with. Perhaps a practitioner or a therapist. You are pure starlight, coming from the stars into the earth, and thus materializing in this physical experience. You do not come into a family by chance, but only by very exact measures. You come to heal your lineage. Your parents may have had this task before you and renounced to it, since it can feel a such burden. And here you are, ready to take the stake of this challenge. In this process, you will learn so much, so the benefit that you bring to your lineage also comes back to you as knowledge and experience that you could not reach otherwise. Your lineage may be related to one or many dysfunctions that you now can bring to light, so that your lineage's true gift can be restored and shine again as part of the whole for reintegration. This journey and the fall of true gifts into dysfunctional aspects was no error. It was instead part of a cycle, like all cycles in life, expansion and contraction to explore the fullness of a theme in all its perspectives. It has now, however, reached its full negative state, and it is time to return to one with all the learning that has been gathered. One will not be the same, but an expanded version, thanks to each of our contributions, thanks to this exploration, this adventure that we have partaken in. So this is the strategy. The next time that you feel yourself out of control because of sadness, anger, or even rage, consider that a golden opportunity, because this is your key to come back to one. This is your call to awareness. This trigger is unlocking the door, is opening Pandora's box to the inner child wounds. So once you find it, milk it. It has nothing to do with the person in front of you. It is part of the past, memories regurgitating, not only your memories, but your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents. So just let go of the person in front of you who triggered you. In fact, it comes as your teacher, a messenger of the truth. You can retire yourself and in silence go within. What are the unfinished stories related to this theme that you have not expressed? What is within you that you did not say to others? What you need to release and let go of so that you can create space for new light to shine. In these occasions, take a moment for this inner reflection. You can close your eyes. Imagine the people you never told what you felt. Do it in the following way. Say out loud, I feel, and say your feeling towards you for doing, and say what they've done that hurt you. For example, I feel hate towards you for hurting me with your words. I feel anger towards you for not caring about me. Just express it and let go of all the words you need to say. Just say them, express them, let them go. That energy is not part of who you are. Give them to that person, not as aggression, in peace, but with your feelings. Just express and let them go. That is the first step. The second step is going to be to write down a list of all the benefits that came from that hurt, that pain, that experience. We always learn. It may be that we learn how to be more self-sufficient, how to be more considerate and compassionate towards others. So all of those are amazing gifts. Make sure to make a list of all those. So these two parts, expressing the untold and appreciating what you have gained, are part of the healing. Once you express your untold feelings and are able to move into forgiveness, not condoning, but forgiveness and appreciation of what you have learned, this is actually building the next layer beyond the adult, the inner parent, and the inner child. And this is the spiritual self, that perspective overlooking above the others, understanding your physical experience as a learning, as a process. So this is a great and deep healing. So remember, next time you are triggered, it is a golden opportunity. Directive 1.8. The sphere. As within, so without. As a fish in the water that doesn't realize is surrounded by it and yet is affected by it, your environment and everything that surrounds you has extreme influence. So you are affected by what is outside you, and in the same way, you have the power of choosing the environment you want to be in. As within, so without. As without, so within. Look for places, people, groups, environments that reflect what you want to accomplish. In my experience, I have noticed that when I go to nature and I come back to the city, I am more aware of all the nature around me. I am filled with nature images in my mind and in my heart. I can still smell the fragrances of the flowers. So remember, you can easily modify yourself by modifying or choosing a different environment. The same occurs with the people around you, especially the important people in your life. When I came from Spain into the US, what I noticed is that the US is a new continent with fresh energy, whereas Europe has deep roots which are helpful for grounding and for many things. In my case, I really wanted to explore a different view, a different perspective, and there is no better way to reinvent ourselves than being in a new continent, new cultures, the merging of all the different people from all around the world that come here helped me transforming my life. In the same way, my environment and the people in it was different. My friends, my family, everything drastically changed. And this resulted in a leap in my path, in my journey. So in the same way, you can take time out in nature, in different groups, look for your soul family, redecorate your house. Anything that you do in your environment is going to influence you in a positive or negative way. If you have paintings in your house representing people that is sad, that brings your energy down. In the same way, if you have people smiling, that will also make you feel happy. If you have sacred geometry paintings, it will help you feel in harmony. If you have disorganized rooms, will also merge with your own energetic field, affecting your state. If you have healthy fruits in your kitchen, as soon as you enter, you will feel a tendency to try them, to taste them, to enjoy them. If instead you have processed foods, you have cookies and things that are not so healthy, you will also feel that temptation. It is so much easier to change ourselves by starting with our environment. Our environment reflects who we are at the moment. So it's good indication, it's a perfect mirror, and it's a perfect place to transform things. So whether within or without, both are ways for you to transform. So do the following exercise. For the next 7 days, look for one thing daily that you can exchange. Let's say you have in your kitchen, as soon as you enter, cookies. So let's put that in the cabinet and change it for fruit. Or perhaps you have a painting in your family room of a lonely, sad woman. Let's change that for a happy, joyful woman. So each day, for 7 days, change at least one thing in your environment. That's the first step. The second step is that also for 7 days, look for new groups that you can join. You can go to Meetup, you can ask friends, you can go to Facebook. Just look for different groups that you can join, people that you feel is closer to your soul family and the future that you want for yourself. And let me know how it goes. Directive 1.9: The power of deprogramming and how you can do it. Technique 2: Continuation. Galactic Historian has provided contract revocations that you can check out at galactichistorian.com. I have also a video in my website, victoriavives.com/contract revocations, where you can follow along with it. You can do these contract revocations for deprogramming your mind daily. My experience has been that when I join with others, the experience has doubled or even tripled the effect. So let's do this together right now, taking all the benefit of being here with other people around the world all together. There are many contract revocations that we can work with to dissolve agreements that sometimes unconsciously we have accepted and that we live by. So it is now time to become aware of these contracts and revoke them one by one. Not with hate or anger, but just with choice, choosing what we prefer instead. We will work today in the contract revocation of government. Other important contract revocations that you may want to practice are soul contract revocation for the divine masculine and soul contract removal to free the divine feminine. Pages 12 and 15 of the document at galactichistorian.com and also in the video at victoriavives.com/contract revocations. So now I will read the contract revocation of government. Please repeat after me. I call to all spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future being selves and existence in this dimension and time stream, all time streams above and below the earth-centric sine wave of coexistence at this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creating moment. I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified proper spiritual court of equity, so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birth process. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts that deal with all government personalities, elected and unelected. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all family crest-based government systems. I revoke all rights, duties, and responsibilities to all government entities that use my vote as a means of energy harvesting I revoke all spiritual contracts with every senator, congressman, ambassadors, Supreme Court members, presidents, vice presidents, and all cabinet members. I revoke all spiritual contracts with every branch of government for all of my past, present, and future lives. I do not consent to the rule of the privileged few. I revoke all rights, responsibilities, assumptions, presumptions, and signatures that retain me within the entirety of any or all governmental organizations, family crests, sacred geometry buildings, monuments, memorials, or military bases. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with a corporate-run government. I do not consent to any form of corporate government that harvests energy from its people. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the Federal Reserve families. I revoke all rights, assumptions, and responsibilities with every member of the Federal Reserve in exchange for value systems run by any government or corporate officials. I revoke all spiritual contracts hidden within our government exchange for value system. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all government offices that use sacred geometry crests to retain power or insert fine print in soul contracts. I revoke all rights, privileges, powers, assumed and unassumed, consented and unconsented, with every federal law enforcement branch that uses Federal Reserve energy to support the system of domination and control. I revoke all spiritual contracts that create consent for the government committees that determine quality of life. I revoke all rights, duties, responsibilities for all government systems that write laws that affect my spiritual contracts without my direct consent from my total DNA lineage, ancestors past, present, and future. I revoke all spiritual contracts that enable the government to use time travel as a means of domination and control. I revoke all rights and duties of all time traveler personalities, operations, systems, past, present, and future. I demand the immediate return of all government time travel personalities to the right and perfect timeline. I revoke all rights with all technologies that alter dimensions, manipulate time streams, or do harm to any sentient life forms coexisting on Earth, in all timelines and dimensions. I do not consent to timeline wars. I do not consent to mass propaganda. I do not consent with war-based industrial complexes. I do not consent with the use of military to dominate and control. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts secretly interwoven into each and every law, past, present, and future. I do not consent to the passing of laws that affect soul family migrations, soul family immigration or systems that prevent me from uniting my complete and total soul family. I demand the instant return of all my soul family that has been denied the right to coexist with me for all my past, present, and future lives. I revoke all rights, rules, and laws that define soul family on a 3D matrix level. I return all definitions of soul family status to Earth Mother. I revoke all rights to label soul families with sacred geometry linguistics that cross dimensions or realities. I revoke all spiritual contracts with all forms of sacred geometry linguistics, past, present, and future. I do not consent to the use of sacred geometry linguistics as a means of energy harvesting. I do not consent to the use of sacred geometry cities, infrastructure, linguistics, or artwork for the purpose of domination and control. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts that enable the government to dominate and control all people on any timeline or dimension. In Earth Mother's realm, I revoke all assumptions and presumptions of power and caste systems. I revoke all spiritual contracts that define sentient life as cattle or commerce. I do not consent to my life force being used for any purpose that does not heal Earth Mother and promote unity consciousness among all sentient kind, living and coexisting within Earth Mother. I hereby declare that Earth Mother is now in dominion with me for all forms of global government, interpersonal relations, or galactic relations, for all sentient kind, existing and coexisting on Earth Mother's realms. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth Akashic record for all sentient kind to understand. Our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. And take a deep cleansing breath. Good. We have one more directive or secret to complete this training, and that is Directive 1.10. But before that, I would like to remind you and encourage you to call in for the Q&A. The connective algorithm will be 347-308-8788 and the key 1. Translating into earthly terms, just call 347-308-8788 and press 1 to ask your questions. Those who dial first to ask shall first receive, so I encourage you to join the queue right now. Directive 1.10. The completion. Achieving the point of no judgment for full reintegration. Being spiritual can be a tricky thing in this world. We may think that if we stand against the immoral and the unethical, we will reach the point of sanctity, when in fact, judging is what takes us out of it. I like to call this state of no judgment neutral charge, 0 point, middle path, how to keep ourselves unpolarized. My guides taught me an important lesson. I was journeying in my shamanic training. A new guide came in. It didn't feel like my other guides. Instead, it had a negative appearance. However, I did my best to stay above judgment, to reach that perspective beyond good and bad. When we are above good and bad, we reach the point of unconditional love. We only observe as the witness. We do not get involved in preferring one or the other, but instead just accept all that is. Accept, keyword. Surrender. Open to what is. Another lesson from my guides. Last week, I was feeling sick. I felt the call of Mother Earth waiting to heal me. So I went to the mountains and I rested there overnight. My husband and I were sleeping without a tent, just a tarp, because there was a chance of rain. We were in a valley, a beautiful place. My husband mentioned the only thing about this place is that if it rains, we have to be aware about flash floods. So if you hear rocks crumbling, falling, just run uphill as fast as you can. So I went to bed with this fearful thought, and overnight it started raining stronger and stronger, to the point that it hailed And then it hailed and rained simultaneously, and our tarp was coming down. Going out from that tarp, even if flimsy, was suicide. It was freezing. I was inside 2 sleeping bags, and now I had the tarp right on my face. I felt like a burrito. So how would I run if a flash flood came? Impossible. I didn't know what to do. I thought of all the possibilities. I truly feared for my life. But why would I judge this situation as bad if we need so much rain? I thought to myself, I'm sure this is a blessing for everyone. And at that exact moment, the hail ceased. Only a light rain continued. The message from my ancestors was, think global and think individual. Don't leave anything out. Do your best to look out for yourself and do your best to look out for everyone else, to look out for the whole. It's not either or, it's always and. When we live our personal agenda, when we are not magnetized, polarized, charged in one direction or the other, things suddenly become easier. The middle path, such an ancient teaching. Don't be too firm, don't be too flexible, just right in the middle. If you are too firm, you may break. If you are too flexible, you won't stand. So always think of all perspectives, of both sides. How can you honor both? One good example about this is that I had several people bringing to my awareness the situation in our oceans, asking me whether I feel it's safe to bathe, to be by the beach. My response is, it is safe and it is unsafe, both of them. We live at many levels of awareness, at many levels of beingness. It is powerful to honor all of them. For the aspect of being a physical human being, if I would go to the ocean and I would decide to bathe, I would certainly rinse my body with a different water afterwards. That would cover the physical aspect. If I can contribute with my time to take some trash out of the ocean, out of the beach, that would be another physical aspect. Now, we have also the divine aspect, the eternal aspect in us. For that aspect of ourselves, there is no possible damage that the ocean can bring to us. The ocean indeed has that dimension in which it is perfect. It is in its perfect light. How can we reach that? For this, I recommend Sandra Ingerman's work. You can visit the archives at victoriavives.com/radio and listen to the interview with Sandra Ingerman to see how she was able to transform the pH of the water, poisoned water, into potable water, just by transforming oneself. So we have the power of transform the physical, and at the same time we can act with precaution. Another example is, the other day I was in the mountains and I saw a bear. It was so beautiful that I would go and hug this bear like a teddy bear. But obviously, I understand this is an animal of great strength and power. I cannot just foolishly run and hug this bear. So I have respect for this animal. And that is the balance I'm speaking about. The path of the middle. I love the bear. I do not go hug the bear. So in your life, you can apply this middle path, allowing your energy to be uncharged, to be unpolarized, will aid and assist in your ascension so that you can easily gravitate beyond the tree of good and evil. This idea of a neutral state, keeping yourself balanced, keeping yourself in the middle path, going above judgment, and looking at life through unconditional love, not so much wanting to change things outside, but loving them and honoring them as part of the whole. Beloved brothers and sisters, starseeds and earthlings, we are approaching the time for the Q&A. Remember, the connective algorithm will be 347-308-8788, and then press 1 to ask your questions. Those who dial first to ask shall first receive. So I encourage you to join the queue right now. So we will start now with the questions. I will start with area code 8. Please be ready. 860. Okay, so you're in. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, what is your name?
Susan from Connecticut.
Oh, good meeting you.
You too. I called into your show a little while back, and you had a fellow on named Brad, I believe.
Yes, Brad Johnson.
What is it again?
Brad Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
He was amazing.
He is indeed.
And I love your show. I love your words.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are all doing this together, so it's so wonderful that you are joining today. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't really have a question, but I don't know what kind of question I can have. But there is just one thing that I'm looking for in transition is that I'm going into this it's called Marconics work.
Mm-hmm.
And do you get any sense around that?
Can you talk a little bit more about it? I'm not familiar with it.
Marconics, it's called. I was introduced to it at a holistic expo last week out in Marlborough, Massachusetts. And I had some of it done. It's a no-touch energy type of process where you can either get you can actually get recalibrated, where they uncap your chakras and they calibrate.
So this is what I'm receiving for you. It seems that it is something that can be of great help for you right now, so that you little by little start being aware of the process that you go through when you are experiencing that, when you are realigning and recalibrating your energetic field, so that little by little you are actually able to do it without any external help. So it seems that right now, perhaps for maybe 6 to 7 months, you can work with this, but with that awareness of being very conscious of what is happening in your energetic field, so that you are able gradually to do it by yourself.
Yeah, and I'm very interested in it. I want to become a practitioner in it, so I'm going to try to do that.
Beautiful.
Because it's all new to me.
It seems like a very good introduction for you to then expand into other ways.
Yeah. So the belief around it is that at the end of 2012, the planets realigned, and now these energies we're able to access these energies that previously we weren't from the Galactic Federation Council, and now we are aligned correctly.
Beautiful.
So I believe it's a new process that's just being it's rippling through. It's like people are just probably finding out about it.
Yes, and there are so many different paths that we can follow that sometimes it's about seeing which one is for you right now at this moment. And it may be the one that you use forever, but it seems that it's something that is going to be a doorway into further exploration.
Wow.
I'm excited for you.
Oh, I am. I'm excited.
Okay, well, I really appreciate your call and also your contribution to the healing in the world, because once we all become responsible for that, we're going to have a very different planet.
Oh, yeah, we'll ascend with the planet. That'll be neat.
Do you have any other comments or questions?
No, not right now, but I really appreciate your insight.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm going to take one more call, and this will be from area code 503. So 503, please be ready. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
What is your name? Yes.
Hi, my name is Rocky. How are you doing?
Rocky. I'm doing great. Thank you for calling. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Salem, Oregon.
Oh, beautiful. Do you have a question today?
Yes. So the question that I had for you was, I just recently tuned in towards the end of your show, but I was hearing how you're talking about balancing. I was wondering how you would balance in more of a, say, a much more negative situation than the scenarios that you had given.
Okay, so like in an extreme case?
Yes.
Okay, well, there is always potential for changing things around. I have been in very extreme situations, I guess like everyone else. And one of the things that helped me very much is to keep my mind in a neutral or positive state. And this sometimes is by repeating a mantra. So what occurs is that if we are in a difficult situation and we start spiraling down in negativity, we go from bad to even worse. So I'm going to put an example. This is a very personal thing, but I actually shared it in one of my videos. So I was in the street.
I was in the street in Hollywood, and a pit bull attacked me. So I was laying on the floor, bleeding. The dog was still there, and the chain of the dog was not really tight on anything, but it was in a pole, so he could escape and just devour me. Nobody was helping. So to me, this was like I could have died there with the dog. I was really in great distress. And what I decided is, okay, if I start spiraling down and see myself being devoured by this dog, that is not going to help, because the dog can also feel what I feel. So that would encourage the dog to come towards me. So what I did was to start repeating a mantra. And this mantra is the first one that I learned from metaphysics. And the mantra is, I bless the angel in this situation, and I ask for it to appear to me right now. So what this does is that we are recognizing that in any situation there is the potential of turning things around. A very extreme dramatic situation has the potential for a very extreme blessing as well. So if we are able to stay there and turn things around, we can really receive that blessing. So by repeating and repeating this mantra, instead to go into, I'm going to die here, I was able to calm my mind, and the angel, in fact, appeared. And it appeared as a man that came to help me. After being there, thrown on the floor and nobody helping,
okay, that makes sense.
And helped me. So, I recommend to be doing that. So that's one of many, many things that you can do. I'm not sure if you listened to the previous 2 chapters also of the series.
And how can I do that?
You can just go to victoriavives.com/radio.
Okay.
And you will see, even on the front page, victoriavives.com, you will see the information and the links. And you can also add me on Facebook. I still have a few friends that I can accept. It's close to the limit. But you can look for me there, Victoria Vives Khuong. And I will be happy to be your friend and send you a link. So trust that wherever you are, you can really turn things around. And the greatest challenges I had in my life brought me the greatest blessings. So trust that.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling. Okay, so we're going to complete now the show, and I would like to just a couple of things. I would like to just let you know that next Saturday, December 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I will be interviewing James Wick. James Wicks is the visionary of the upcoming feature-length documentary, Across the King's River. He will be sharing his journey of wisdom and healing in African spiritual traditions. So I'm very, very excited about this, and you will be also able to call in for questions or comments. So that would be next Saturday. And also I wanted to let you know that, in these 3 episodes of How to Fall in Love with Your Life on Earth, we shared so many practices that you can use. Just using one of them can transform your life for the better. And it is always good to also understand that sometimes we need help from another person. So maybe a practitioner or a therapist can help very much. And, with that, just sharing my appreciation with you for being here today. Your companion in this journey is something that I really, really treasure. We are all doing this together, this transformation. So for me, whether you consider yourself a starseed or an earthling, you are an angel to me, and you are my soul family. So thank you so much for being here. I love you. Bye.
Hi, this is Karen Newman from the show About Oneness, and here's what's coming up on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 and 2, starting on Monday, November the 24th, until Sunday, November the 30th. Simply put, Rob Gauthier, founder of the EEN and the host of the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, has put together the greatest metaphysical radio network ever. 7 days a week, we have shows that will aid you on your path to enlightenment, evolution, and ascension. On EEN1, on Mondays, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is Heart to Heart Talk Radio with your host, Daniel Scranton. Join Daniel and his featured guests discussing a wide variety of metaphysical topics. Daniel channels the Creators, the Hathors, Ophelia the Fairy, and Archangel Michael, and the latest, the Unicorn Collective. Daniel and his guests will take phone calls and questions, and it's sure to generate high-frequency discussions. You can find more about Daniel at his website, danielscranton.com, and also on Facebook. Go to the Events tab on Daniel's website to learn more about Daniel's upcoming events. Daniel's guest on the 17th of November is his lovely wife, Lana Boss, where they will be discussing the importance of living where you want to live. And then on the 24th of November, Susan Fittner, author of From Your Vision Board to Your Bedroom, will be Daniel's guest. On Tuesday at noon, also 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join hosts Megan Crandallmeyer and Rachel Archelaus for Radio Inspiration, Expression, and Abundance for their show, Soulfulpreneur. Spiritual business specialists Rachel and Megan will bring you inspiring conversations with people who are living their soul purpose. Frequent guests include psychic mediums, channelers, coaches, artists, and authors. They end every show with psychic readings and business coaching. Your questions about your spiritual business or life purpose journey are welcome. On the 24th of November, Rachel and Megan's guest is Robert Scheinfeld, author of Busting Loose from the Money Game. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, is the show that started it all, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with host Rob Gauthier. Rob channels Treb on the first Wednesday of each month and will take callers' questions. On the third Wednesday, we'll have special guests such as guest channelers and other metaphysical teachers. The other 2 Wednesdays are freestyle call-in shows to discuss whatever callers have on their minds. Tune in to Rob on Wednesday nights, and you can also find him at TrebChanneling.com and on Facebook at the Enlightenment Evolution Network group page. Rob's guest on the 28th of November will be Lee Harris. If you are interested in the CE5 Day Channeling Workshop in Asheville, North Carolina, go to TrebChanneling.com, where you can find more details on how to register. Starting on Sundays from September 14th, TrebChanneling.com offers hour-long meditation classes. Please go to TrebChanneling.com to register. Another project near and dear to Rob's heart is the much-anticipated sequel to the groundbreaking film Tuning In, called Tuning In Now. The movie will feature channelers such as Daryl Anka and Bashar, Lee Carroll and Cryon, and our very own Rob Gauthier and Treb. Tuning In Now will explore the amazing work of today's top channels and how they are helping to awaken the consciousness of the planet. The film is in fundraising stages at the moment, and with a contribution for as little as $15 all the way up to $50, you can help make sure that this film is made. Please go to Indiegogo.com, that's Indie, I-N-D-I-E, Gogo, G-O-G-O.com, and type in the search Tuning In Now 2. That's the number 2. Tuning In Now with the number 2. On Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, join host Philip Malika with the Consciousness Evolution Hour. Join Philip and his special guests and co-hosts as they discuss the shift, ascension, timelines, metaphysical concepts, and the fifth dimension. Find Philip at the Consciousness Evolution 2.0 group page on Facebook and on YouTube. On Friday, The Earth Experience with your host, Kalina Angel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. The Earth Experience explores our soul's expansion through our human experience on Earth. Kalina will help you to navigate and expand through the exciting confusions that we are manifesting as new 5D beings. And now, our newest addition to Enlightenment Evolution Network 1, Victoria Vives Khuong, hosting Earth Sky People Radio, will now be with you on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for your start to an inspiring week. This Saturday, November 29th, she will share more powerful tips on how you can thrive on Earth. Earth Sky People Radio, your bridge between heaven and earth. Subjects will include planet Earth becoming part of an intergalactic society, starseeds and extraterrestrial life, living in oneness with one another, with Mother Earth and with life beyond Earth, the Interstellar Alliance, also known as the Galactic Federation of Light, music, frequency and sound healing, question and answer interviews, shamanism, ancestral wisdom, and the Star Nations, self-sustainative and regenerative living, and much, much more. Go to victoriavives.com/radio where people can start submitting questions for upcoming shows. Victoria's guest on Tuesday, November 18th is special guest Jessie Ann Nichols-George, sharing about her Compassion Tour and sharing tools with you for maintaining personal identity, being in crowds, and or being around those that may not share your interests or values. On Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, is my show, About Oneness. About Oneness is a weekly radio program focused on celebrating the ongoing conscious awakening of our planet and our realization of oneness. I'm an American originally from Charleston, South Carolina, now living in Europe, The Hague, the Netherlands. I'm an integrated channel, medium, Reiki master, and metaphysical teacher. I have a varied and diverse background, including that of being a singer, dancer, writer, as well as working in the sport, nutrition, and fitness world. As a channel, I bring forward the information of my non-physical guides called Theos, whose message is always that of oneness and unconditional love. This show for me is about integrating all of my experiences and following my highest excitement, which is tapping into the truth of the universe. If you would like to find more about me and my show and my upcoming guests, as well as see many videos and channelings and teachings, you can go to aboutoneness.com. On the Enlightenment Evolution Network 2, on Saturday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific, the Pied Piper and Texas Rebel hosting the show Disclosure Now. Disclosure Now is the On the Edge of Our Seats show that covers all topics of disclosure, from the world's most famous and obscure UFO cases to cryptozoology, conspiracies, and all things that go bump in the night. Pied Piper started his journey in Michigan in 1993 as a preteen seeing Bigfoot and never could get enough of investigating all things paranormal. Texas Rebel is a wild Texas man who loves the same journey and has studied these same things for years. Join them as they cover all things in the human experience that just cannot be answered by anyone. Listen here and call in on the number 347-215-8586. The Pied Piper and Texas Rebel will have as their guest on November the 22nd, Michael Horn, a Billy Meyer researcher. Coming soon on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific, The Resonance Intention, hosted by Soul and Neil Gar. The Resonance Intention show is dedicated to all things frequency and vibration. They will showcase conscious musicians who infuse frequencies into their music and have set out to uplift and raise the vibration of humanity through their music. They will have in-depth discussions with various artists about their passion, purpose, and personal journey that led them to where they are now. Additionally, they will routinely have guests on the topics of free energy, technology, and other quantum modalities and technologies that are coming into existence now. The Resonance Intention is a platform for artists, musicians, and inventors to increase awareness of their personal approach in order to contribute to the paradigm shift we are currently within. And remember, you never have to miss any show on the Enlightenment Evolution Network 1 or 2. All shows are available to listen to again immediately after they air on playback. Also, now the EEN Networks 1 and 2 are archiving all videos for all of their shows weekly. From 1 day to 3 days at the latest, these shows will be uploaded on youtube.com/Network Enlightenment. Or if you simply type Enlightenment Evolution Network in YouTube, you will find the network page. We will have individual show playlists with all of the last month's archives, and they will be updated every week. All right, back to the show.